I'm going to give you a little clue about some things I've learnt about God. Coming from like someone who most of my life, I did believe in God, but I rejected a lot of religious stuff. Intuitively, by the way. And none of this is serious. It's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be enjoyable. It's meant to be like, and one of the things constantly is that like everything that we think we know is all slightly wrong. And it's like there's two ways to think about it. You can look at it with fear, or you can look at it with faith. I'll let it go. Faith. Now, there's been a lot of talk about a figure or an entity or a resurrection, and something called the Antichrist. The Antichrist. Anti means like opposite kind of thing. It can mean lots of things. We speak words, we speak vowels and sounds. We don't speak written dictionary words. We speak blah blah we speak noises. And before we spoke noises, I mean, we've always spoken noises, before we wrote fucking letters and spells down, spelling, we spoke sounds, musical sounds, harmony, vibration. Music is a vibration. It rattles through everything, every bit of water in our body. And the joke is that the Antichrist, technically, if I look in here into this tea leaves that I've found, the Antichrist is a bit of a joke. It's a joke for all those people that take words, the written word, too seriously. Oops. The Antichrist. Well, Christ loved a bit of wine. He loved... That was a mistake. He loved wine. He loved people, and he loved, all these things. He was a good dude. But he hated ants because he got bitten by an ant, and then he was like, I'm going to kill all the ants, and that's what he was talking about. But he was like, I'm not getting no fucking tell you, boy. I'm going to fucking kill all the ants. Have fucking tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to fucking tell that fucking prick in Rome that I hate all the ants. And I was like, brother, you're missing the point. Okay? Put the goon bag down. Put it down. The ants are lovely. The ants are wonderful. One day, my brother, you will see as the ants. And that's all I fucking said to him. And then me and the missus went dancing. We went, it was called jig dancing. And it was a really big craze in Rome at that time. And I got really stoned, and I can't remember much else. And the next thing I fucking heard, he'd been stuck up on a fucking cross. And I nicked off for a while, and I pop my head in every now and then, and just encourage people that might be doing the right thing. But yeah, that got misinterpreted. I think someone heard him fucking say that about the I will see as ants, and that's ant-I fucking cry. This is the problem. And they wrote it down. They all took it too seriously. I passed him a joint. He wouldn't take it. He just kept fucking sculling on the fucking goon bag, and then now he's dead. But yet to see as the ants is to crawl on the ground, you know what I mean? Something that then got misinterpreted as well as I was a snake, you know, it's crawling on the ground and fucking slithering serpent is fucking evil. There's a whole country here called Australia that's filled with snakes. Okay? If God hated snakes so much, he wouldn't have made Australia. And God doesn't hate Aboriginals. What the fuck? Like, Aboriginals, he loves them. I think they're actually his favourite humans. That's why he looks after them so much. And they're his favourite because they lived as per the directions of the original thing. Now, they lived in a very hard place as per the directions, and that's why he loved them even more, because everyone loves an underdog. And the Australian Aboriginals were the ultimate underdog, and that's why that's why this story is so beautiful. But to see as the ants do is to crawl on the ground like a snake or slither, whatever fuck. But way smaller. Ants are smaller than snakes. And they go in the ground and they go above the ground. And so they understand both worlds, don't they? It's pretty clear, yeah, if you don't get muddled up on the words, because all these sounds you'll find if you look in languages, a lot of these sounds, they might be spelt differently and they might have different symbols, but the sounds was how the whole world worked. Vibration, music, harmony, yeah, you get in the fucking swing of it. So to see as the ants is to see under the ground and above the ground, and Jesus was too drunk to get the message, and he wouldn't just have a little puff, he was a little bit scared, he got a little bit self-conscious, and that was why he was young. He was young. And it was terrible. So the Antichrist is like a bit of a joke. It's like, oh, one day there'll be someone who can see as the ants do, and they'll be noisy and they'll talk like he does, and they won't drink because ants don't drink. They actually grow mushrooms though. They grow mushrooms in their fucking ant things. Look it up. Google it. So the Antichrist is the Christ that can see as the ants do, underground and below ground. And that also got confused that the devil lives underground. It's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? I do sometimes wander into a cave every now and then, but obviously I live above and below the ground, and I can fly like ants do. I can't really fly. I wish I could, but I can't. Yet. Still hope. I think I used to be able to fly. Yeah, I really do think I used to be able to fly. My wings got clipped, you see, because my taste for women led to some potential Nephilim situation, which was just a minor miscalculation, something that I've spent 2,000 years working on. So, yeah. The Antichrist is a Christ that can see as the ants do. Yeah, and then the ants, they have a whole ecosystem going on like we do above the ground with trees and oak trees and orange trees and apple trees and fig trees and lemon trees and asparagus and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage and all the wonderful herbage that grows around. They also live in the ground, so they understand the intricate microsystem as above, so below can then. That's why I had to have wings so I could get up to the other place. And I also had wings because there used to be very, 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 very large trees. Yeah, and so I had to get up to the trees, and I was one of the lucky ones that could fly up and down. I think that was it. So the Antichrist is to know as, because he had a lot of stuff right, because Dad taught him well, I taught him well as well. The world taught him well, and if it wasn't for the drinking, he probably could have gently steered Rome to the right direction, because Rome was going okay, but they didn't see as the ants did. They were fucking up a lot of things, and so he did get some messages through. That seems to have gone thing, but the Antichrist is you've got to look after above the ground and below the ground. Christ, to see as the ants do and to live as Jesus. Jesus. And it's actually pronounced Jazaz. 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 No, I don't know. I can't remember. It was fucking ages ago, and I have smoked way too much in those 2,000 years to remember exactly how we used to say it. I hold him in here, and I remember him fondly, and yeah, so I love to put on his best of hits, which means to read the Bible or to listen to all the songs sung about him and all the things. But that's how I remember my brother is like that. But yeah, you don't need to worry about this Antichrist because you're taking it too literally, which is what the fucking Americans did. And Jesus, if he was here, or Jesus, if he was here, he would be having probably a couple of Chardonnays, and he would be getting mouthy right now at Trump and Kamala. Kamala, isn't it? Sounds like Camilla, but it's Kamala. Yeah. If ever this gets too much, have a spliff or a cone or a joint or a what's the cigar? Blunt. Have a blunt, and lay down, not on an ant's nest. That would be stupid. They will probably kill you and eat you. Just next to an ant's nest, and gently ask if you can observe them for a little bit, coming up above the ground and then below the ground, and then you'll understand what the whole thing is. The marijuana will help you with this. It helps you connect. It helps you start to develop your Antichrist vision, because it activates. We have another eye here that helps us. If practice a lot, you may even be able to communicate with the ants, or the birds, or the butterflies, or the bees, or the wasps, or the snakes, or the rabbits, or the donkeys, or the horses, or people, actually. People in far off distant lands. Yeah, believe it or not, this is all actually just magic. Might take you probably a lot longer to realise that, but this is indeed just magic.